Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Nightly English Mics. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sarah. We are so glad you're spending some time with us today. How are you doing, Mike? You look like you've had a busy morning.
Oh, you have no idea, Sarah. I've been staring at my computer screen since 7 a.m. trying to figure out why my email account was acting so strangely. It actually led me to think about what we should talk about today.
Oh, really? Don't tell me you were hacked. That's literally everyone's worst nightmare.
Not hacked, thankfully, but I did get a very convincing email that almost tricked me. It's funny because we always think we're too smart to fall for these things, right? But these scammers are getting so clever. So I thought today we could dive deep into the world of online scams.
That is a perfect topic. Honestly, I feel like I get at least 3 or 4 suspicious texts or emails every single day. It's getting out of hand. I'm really curious to hear about your experience, though. What did the email say?
So it looked exactly like an official notification from a popular streaming service. You know, the one we all use to watch movies. The subject line was action required. Your subscription has been canceled.
Oh, I know, right? Those subject lines are the worst. They always try to make you panic, so you click without thinking.
Exactly. It said there was a problem with my payment method and that I needed to update my details immediately to keep watching. And the thing is, I actually did get a new credit card last month. So for a split second, I thought, oh, I must have forgotten to update it.
No way. So the timing was just a coincidence?
Total coincidence. I was just about to click the big red button that said update now, but then I paused. I looked at the sender's email address. It wasn't from the official company domain. It was some random string of numbers and letters ending in a generic service.
Good catch. That's like the #1 rule, isn't it? Always check the sender's address. But it's so easy to miss when you're in a rush.
Exactly. I almost gave up on my morning coffee just to fix it quickly. But once I realized it was a scam, it got me thinking about how many different types of scams are out there now. It's not just emails anymore.
You're right. It's everywhere. I actually had a weird experience on social media last week. Have you ever seen those marketplace scams?
Oh, I've heard of them, but I've never run into one personally. What happened?
Well, I was trying to sell my old bike. You know, the blue one I used to ride to the park. I posted it for a very fair price. Within 10 minutes, I got a message from a guy who said he wanted to buy it immediately. He didn't even ask about the condition or try to negotiate the price.
That sounds a bit fishy. Usually people want to haggle at least a little bit.
Right? He said he was too busy to come pick it up himself, so he was going to send a courier to my house. But then he said he would pay me via a specific link he sent. He told me I had to enter my bank details into the link so the delivery company could release the funds to me.
Wait, he wanted your bank details to pay you? That's a classic red flag.
Exactly. I told him, why can't you just use the standard payment app or give the courier cash? He started getting really pushy. He said, I'm a busy man, I'm trying to make this easy for you. He even sent me a photo of his ID to prove he was real.
No way. Was it a real ID?
It looked real, but it was probably stolen from someone else. That's the scary part. They use other people's identities to build trust. I just blocked him and deleted the conversation, but it made me feel so uneasy.
I don't blame you. It's like they're trying to bully you into making a mistake. It's crazy how much effort they put into stealing a couple of $100s.
I know. And it makes you wonder, if they put that much effort into a real job, they'd probably be very successful.
I say that all the time. If they use their powers for good, they'd be CEOs by now. But seriously, it's a huge problem. It feels like every time we figure out one scam, they come up with something even more creative.
That's so true. And I think it's especially hard for people who aren't as comfortable with technology, like our parents or grandparents. My grandma almost fell for a grandchild in trouble scam a few months ago.
Oh, I hate those. Those are the lowest of the low. How did that play out?
Someone called her pretending to be my cousin Leo. The person on the phone sounded a bit muffled, and they said, Grandma, I'm in trouble. I got into a car accident and I'm at the police station. I need money for bail, but please don't tell my parents. They'll be so mad.
That's terrible. They really play on people's emotions and their love for their family.
It really upset her. She was about to head to the bank to withdraw the money. Luckily, she decided to call me first just to check if I knew anything about it. I told her, Grandma, Leo is literally sitting right next to me having lunch.
Wow, talk about a lucky break. Did she call the police?
She did, but they said there's not much they can do since the call came from an untraceable number. It really shook her up, though. She didn't want to answer her phone for a week after that.
That's the hidden cost of these scams. It's not just the money, it's the loss of trust. It makes people feel vulnerable and afraid to interact with the world.
Exactly. It's like these criminals are stealing our peace of mind. And speaking of creative scams, have you heard about the romance scams that are all over the news lately?
Oh, those are fascinating in a really dark way. It's like a long-term project for the scammers. They spend months building a relationship with someone online, don't they?
Yes, it's wild. They create these incredibly detailed fake profiles on dating apps. They use photos of attractive people, often models or soldiers, and they start talking to people who are looking for a connection.
And they're never able to meet in person, right? There's always an excuse.
Always. They're working on an oil rig in the middle of the ocean, or they're a doctor in a remote village, or they're on a top secret military mission. They send these long, poetic messages, and the victim really starts to fall in love.
It's the ultimate catfishing situation. But then comes the tragedy, I assume.
Exactly. After 3 or 4 months of dating online, something goes wrong. They get stuck at an airport, or they have a medical emergency and their bank account is frozen. They ask for just a little bit of money to help them out.
And because the victim is emotionally invested, they send it. And then the requests for money just keep coming, don't they?
It never ends. I read a story about a woman who lost her entire life savings, over $100,000, to a man she thought was her fiancé. She had never even heard his voice on the phone. They only ever texted.
That is so sad. It's easy for people to say, how could you be so gullible? But when you're lonely and someone is giving you all that attention, your brain just wants to believe it's real.
I totally agree. We shouldn't judge the victims. The scammers are professionals. They know exactly what to say to make someone feel special.
It really makes me think about how we can protect ourselves. I mean, we can't just stop using the internet, right? It's part of our lives.
Definitely not. I think the key is just staying informed and being a bit more skeptical. Like, if someone you've never met asks you for money, the answer should always be no, regardless of the story.
That's a good rule of thumb. Rule number 1, no money for strangers. It sounds simple, but it's the most effective defense.
What about those investment scams? You know, the ones involving cryptocurrency or get-rich-quick schemes? I see those all over my Instagram feed.
Oh, those are everywhere. Turn $100 into $10,000 in just 24 hours. It's honestly ridiculous. I don't know how anyone falls for those. If it were that easy to make money, why would they be telling random people on the internet instead of just doing it themselves?
Right? I've discovered a secret algorithm, and because I'm such a nice person, I'm going to share it with you for a small fee. It's so transparent.
But people are desperate, Sarah, especially with the economy being the way it is. They see an opportunity to solve all their financial problems, and they want to believe it.
That's true. It's the same logic as the lottery, I guess. People hope against hope that they'll be the lucky ones. But with these scams, there is no lucky one. Only the scammer wins.
Exactly. I actually tried to mess with a scammer once. Have you ever done that?
No way. Mike, that sounds dangerous. What did you do?
Well, I didn't do anything too crazy. I got one of those WhatsApp messages from a random number saying, "Hi, Mom, this is my new number. I lost my phone."
But you aren't a mom.
Exactly. So I decided to play along. I replied, "Oh no, sweetie, which child are you? I have so many, I forget names sometimes."
That's hilarious. What did they say?
They said, "It's your favorite child." So I replied, "Oh, so it's my dog Buster? Buster, how did you learn to type? You're such a good boy."
No. Did they actually keep going?
They tried for one more message. They said, "No, it's your human son. I need money for a new phone." I just sent back a picture of a potato and blocked them.
A picture of a potato? That's amazing. I bet they were so confused.
It felt good to waste a little bit of their time. If they're talking to me and my dog, they aren't talking to someone who might actually fall for it.
That's true. You were doing a public service. But seriously, people should be careful about engaging with them. Sometimes even just replying lets them know your number is active, and then they sell your information to other scammers.
You're 100% right. I shouldn't have done it, really. The best thing to do is just ignore and block. Don't even give them the satisfaction of a reply.
So let's talk about some practical tips. We've mentioned a few, but if we were making a checklist for our listeners, what else should be on it?
Okay, definitely multi-factor authentication, or MFA. I know it can be a bit annoying to wait for that text code every time you log in, but it's the best way to keep your account safe.
I agree. It only takes 10 seconds and it provides so much security. What about passwords? I know so many people who use the same password for everything.
Guilty. Well, I used to be, but now I use a password manager. It's a game changer. You only have to remember one master password and the app generates these long, crazy strings of characters for every other site.
I need to get one of those. I'm still using a variation of my childhood pet's name for half of my accounts.
Sarah, you're a sitting duck. You need to change those today.
If a hacker gets your password for one site, they'll try it on every other site. Your bank, your social media, your email. It's called credential stuffing.
Credential stuffing. That sounds very technical, but I get the point. It's like having one key that opens every door in your life. If you lose that key, you're in big trouble.
Exactly. Another thing is being careful with public Wi-Fi. I see people at coffee shops doing their taxes or checking their bank balances on the free Wi-Fi all the time.
Is that really that dangerous? I do that sometimes.
It can be. Hackers can set up fake Wi-Fi networks that look like the coffee shop's network. If you connect to it, they can see everything you're doing. It's much safer to use a VPN or just stick to your phone's data.
Wow, I never thought about that. I always just look for the strongest signal. I'll definitely be more careful from now on.
It's all about building these small habits, you know? It feels like a lot of work at first, but once you get used to it, it's just part of your routine.
Definitely. And what about phishing versus smishing? I keep hearing those terms.
Oh, phishing is the email version and smishing is the SMS or text message version. It's the same concept, sending a fake message to fish for your info. There's also vishing, which is voice phishing over the phone.
They really like their ishing words, don't they? It's like a whole vocabulary of crime.
It really is. And it's funny, well, not funny, but interesting how they adapt to current events. During the pandemic, there were so many scams about vaccines and government checks.
I remember that. I got a text saying I was eligible for a special COVID-19 refund, and I just needed to provide my address and bank details. It's so gross how they take advantage of a global crisis to steal from people.
It really shows their character, or lack thereof. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. Technology is also getting better at catching these guys.
That's true. My email filter catches like 99% of the junk. It's just that 1% that gets through that we have to worry about.
Right. And banks are getting much better at detecting unusual patterns. I once tried to buy a vintage leather jacket from a shop in Italy, and my bank blocked the transaction immediately because they thought it was fraud.
Did it annoy you?
A little bit at first because I really wanted that jacket. But then I realized, hey, they're actually looking out for me. I had to call them and confirm it was really me. I'd much rather that minor inconvenience than have someone steal my money.
Totally. It's like a security guard at a club. Sometimes they're annoying, but they're there to keep the bad eggs out.
Exactly. So, Sarah, if you could give one piece of advice to someone who just started using the internet, what would it be?
That's a good question. I think I would say slow down. Most scams rely on you being in a hurry or feeling pressured. If you just stop, take a breath, and look closely at what's happening, you'll usually see the cracks in the story.
That is excellent advice. Slow down. I love that. My advice would be verify, verify, verify. If your boss emails you asking for something weird, call them. If your bank texts you, call the number on the back of your actual card. Don't use the contact info provided in the suspicious message.
That's so smart. Go to the source. It's like investigative journalism, but for your own life.
Exactly. We all have to be a little bit like detectives nowadays.
You know, Mike, I was thinking about how some people feel embarrassed after they get scammed. They feel like they were stupid. We should really emphasize that it's not their fault.
Oh, absolutely. These scams are designed to work. The people who run them are often part of large, organized criminal groups. They have scripts, they have psychologists helping them, they are pros.
It's true. Even the most tech-savvy people can have a bad day. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you're distracted because your kid is crying or you're worried about work. That's when they get you.
Exactly. It's all about that one moment of weakness. So if it happens to you, don't be ashamed. Report it. Tell your bank, tell the police, and tell your friends. The more we talk about it, the less power these scammers have.
I agree. Sunlight is the best disinfectant, as they say. If we hide it, the scammers just keep doing it to others. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Man, you are on fire with idioms today, Sarah. I've been reading a lot lately, but seriously, I think it's important. We're all in this together. Definitely. You know, I actually saw a video of a scam buster on YouTube the other day. Have you seen those guys? They actually hack into the scammers' call centers and play loud noises or delete their files. No way. That sounds like a movie plot. Is that legal? It's a bit of a gray area, but it's incredibly satisfying to watch. They show the scammers' faces and reveal their locations. It's like a bit of justice in a world that often feels lawless. Wow, I'd love to see that. It's good to know someone is fighting back on that level. But for us regular people, the best fight is just being smart and keeping our money in our pockets. Exactly. We don't need to be hackers. We just need to be informed. So, Mike, do you think we've covered the basics? I feel like we've gone over emails, texts, phone calls, social media, and even romance scams. I think we've hit the main ones. Of course, new ones come up every day. I heard about one recently where people receive a random package in the mail that they didn't order. Wait, free stuff? That doesn't sound like a scam.
You'd think so. It's called brushing. Companies send you cheap items so they can write a verified positive review on your behalf on big shopping websites. It's a way to fake their ratings.
Oh, that's so sneaky. It ruins the whole review system. How are we supposed to know what's actually a good product anymore?
It's tough. You have to look for reviews that seem too perfect or are all written on the same day. Again, it's all about being a detective.
Man, it's exhausting being a detective all the time. I just want to buy a pair of shoes without having to do a background check on the company.
Exactly. But hey, once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. It just becomes a second nature, like checking both ways before you cross the street.
That's a good way to put it. It's just digital safety.
Exactly. Well, Sarah, I think my coffee is finally kicking in and I should probably go and actually change those passwords we talked about.
Yes, please do. And I'm going to go install a password manager. I don't want to be a sitting duck anymore.
Good plan. And for everyone listening, thank you so much for joining us. We hope this was helpful and maybe even a little entertaining.
Definitely. If you have any stories about scams you've encountered, we'd love to hear them. It helps everyone to stay alert.
For sure. Sharing is caring, especially when it comes to keeping our bank account safe.
Exactly. Well, until next time, stay safe and stay curious.
And don't click those suspicious links.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.